What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This is another Star Wars Mandalorian video. I know I've been gone for a couple of days. I had a hockey tournament back home, and that's why I haven't updated in the last couple of days. But I'm happy to be back. Happy to bring you some more Star Wars content. We're going to continue on our topic of the recaps of each episode in the first season of Mandalorian. So, episode 6 is called The Prisoner. So the episode starts with the Mando going to this space fortress, and that's where he gets called for a job from one of his old mercenaries, Ranzar Mulk. His name's Ran for short. And he basically explains to the Mando that they're going to try and regain one of his crew members. They got captured on their last mission. And that's where Rand basically tells him that the only reason you're here is because of the Razor Crest. Because the Razor Crest is, it's not on New Republic or Imperial scanners. Because it's such an old ship. And he said he's providing the muscle and the extra hands for the mission. The Ran is. And that's where we are introduced to Mayfeld. So Mayfeld kind of is short-tempered. He's an ex-Imperial sharpshooter. And you can tell kind of right away that the Mando isn't really going to get along with him because the Imperials are who destroyed Mandalore. And then next, we're introduced to Berg. He's a Devronian. He's big and tall, kind of provides the muscle. And then next, we're introduced to Zero. He is a droid, and he's going to be piloting the mission. Rand tells him that he's going to pilot because they need the Mando on his gun because he's better with his guns. And then the Mando says, there's only 4 right now. We need, who's the 5th one? And the 5th one is Jian. And she's a Twi'lek. And the Mando and her kind of were that was the Mando's old flame, kind of. She's a little crazy, kind of. When I was watching, I wasn't really a big fan of her. She kind of creeped me out, to be honest. So yeah, they all get together and get prepared for this mission, and that's when Rand tells Mando that Mayfeld's going to be running point on the mission. So an order for him is like an order for me, is what he says. So they start going over the plan, and they actually find out that he was arrested. The man that they're going after was arrested by New Republic, and they're infiltrating a New Republic prison ship. And the Mando isn't really for doing that. He's he wants to stay under the radar still because he has Baby Yoda. But he ends up going through with it, and then on the ship, they're talking, and they're trying to get the Mando to remove his helmet. And that's when Berg grabs his helmet, and they kind of start wrestling and fighting, and they accidentally press the door button to open the door where Baby Yoda was. And that's when Mayfeld kind of looks at him and asks, what is that? Is it a pet? And the Mando says, yes. And Jian says, I didn't think of you as the type to have a pet or look after someone. So he puts him back, and they end up flying to the prison ship undetected. So they go on the ship, and the ship is loaded with droids. So Berg, Jian, and Mayfeld all go and start fighting these droids, and Mayfeld's kind of starting to get mad because he thinks the Mando just ran away. Well, the Mando actually takes out the 4 or 5 droids that are there, and he's not really impressed. And that's when they go to the control room and they find a New Republic officer. And it was kind of cool because this New Republic officer is actually Matt Lanter, and he's the voice of Anakin Skywalker in the Clone Wars series. So what he has in his hand is a New Republic tracking beacon, which basically sends out a distress signal when there's a problem. So the Mando's trying to get him to just calm down, tells him that he can get away with his life if he just lets them take the prisoner. And that's when Mayfeld says he's just going to kill him, and then Mando and Mayfeld get into it and start arguing, and Jian throws one of her knives at the New Republic officer and kills him. And when he falls to his death, he ends up activating the tracking beacon. So they have to hurry now. They don't have a lot of time. And Zero's kind of directing them through the prison. And that's when they get to the prison cell and they open it, and it's Quinn. Quinn is a Twi'lek, and he's actually Jian's brother. So what happens next is Berg pushes the Mando into the cell. They close the cell, and they start to leave. So during this time also, we have Baby Yoda kind of walking around the ship and seeing who's running it, because he doesn't know where the Mando is. And Zero runs into him, and they basically play like a game of hide and seek. And during this time too, Zero's kind of looking to find out more about the Mandalorian. And he sees a video that Grief Karga sent him about bringing the asset back to the client. So during this time, the Mando is in the cell, and one of the droids walks by, and he uses his grappling rope to grab the droid, bring him towards the cell, and then the droid sticks his arm in the cell to try to shoot the Mando, and he rips his arm off and then uses the gun to destroy the droid, because the arm has a slicing tool that allows him to open up the cell. So Zero finds out that this happens and tells the crew. And then what happens is the Mando runs off to the control room and starts shutting doors so that they can't escape. And he ends up kind of picking everybody off one by one. First, he fights Berg, and it's kind of a cool one-on-one battle. You can see how strong Berg is because the Mando actually shuts a door on him, and he uses his strength to push it up. And then there's actually a second sealed door that he uses, and that takes care of Berg. And then next we have him go up against Jian, and Jian knows where to throw her knives and actually stabs the Mando in his shoulder in between his Mandalorian armor plates. But the Mando gets the best of her, and then he moves on and sneaks up on Mayfeld, takes Mayfeld out, and then finally he runs into Quinn right when Quinn's about to escape on the ship. So Quinn goes to take his blaster out, and the Mando beats him to it, takes his out. And Quinn basically guilts the Mando into saying, this is, you're a Mandalorian, you're a bounty hunter. You got to bring me in. I'll double your pay when you bring me in to Ran. And so he gets on the ship, and this is when we find that Zero is about to kill Baby Yoda because he finds Baby Yoda in the door that Baby Yoda sleeps in. And he's just about to shoot, and that's when we see the Mandalorian shoot him and kill him. And we get a kind of funny scene. Baby Yoda kind of looks at his hand like he thought he shot him, but it was the Mando behind him. So during this time then, when Quinn's on the ship, they go back to the space fortress, go back to Ran, and Quinn's there, and Quinn asks where the rest of the crew is, and the Mando says no questions asked, and he's like, right. So the Mando gets paid, he's just about to leave, and that's when Rand says kill him. And we see a ship come out of, or kind of pop up out of the ground, one of the levels in this in their space fortress, and it looks like another one of the Xandu Bloods, like Cad Bane's ship from the Clone Wars. And they're both Quinn and Ran are both laughing, and then all of a sudden Ran hears a beeping, and the Mando actually stuck the tracking beacon on Quinn, and the next thing we know, three New Republic X-Wings come out of hyperspace, and one of them is Dave Filoni. So I thought that was kind of cool. And they go and destroy this space station, or the space fortress, and basically kill Quinn and Ran. So after that, we see a scene with Bird, Mayfeld, and Gian are stuck in one of the prison cells on the New Republic prison. So we don't know what's going to happen to them because there's nobody flying the ship now. We don't know where they're going to go. They have nobody to get them food or water, so we don't know how long they're going to last. And that's when the Mando looks back. He goes into hyperspace and looks back at Baby Yoda and says, I told you that was a bad idea. And he takes the little ball off of the hyperdrive stick, or off the fuel line stick, and gives it back to Baby Yoda to play with. And that's how the episode ends. So I thought it was another good episode. I think that it was another filler episode. I wouldn't put it as one of the better ones in the series, but I liked it. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching, guys.